Socrates and the Secret to Knowledge. Have you ever wondered what it truly means to know something? Not just to memorize facts, not just to repeat what others say, but to really know, deeply, undeniably. If you've ever felt lost, confused, or uncertain, if you've ever doubted your intelligence or your path, this story is for you. Because today, we'll walk alongside a man who changed the world without writing a single book, a man who taught not with answers, but with questions, a man whose secret to knowledge still echoes through the ages. His name was Socrates. In ancient Athens, under the warm Mediterranean sun, a curious young man approached Socrates. His name was Glaucon, a student hungry for wisdom. He bowed slightly, as was custom, and said, "Master Socrates, I've read the works of great philosophers, I've studied logic, rhetoric, mathematics. But I still feel empty, like something is missing." Socrates looked at him quietly for a moment, then said only 4 words, "Come walk with me." They strolled in silence through the Athenian marketplace, past vendors and scholars, until they reached the edge of the city, a river, flowing peacefully under the afternoon sun. Socrates turned to the boy and asked, "Do you truly wish to understand what it means to know?" "Yes, more than anything," Glaucon replied. "Then step into the river," Socrates said, smiling. Confused, but trusting, Glaucon stepped into the shallow water. Socrates followed. They stood, knee-deep in the river. Suddenly, Socrates grabbed Glaucon by the shoulders and pushed his head under the water. Glaucon struggled, shocked, his arms flailed, panic rising. Just when he thought he couldn't breathe anymore, Socrates pulled him up. Gasping for air, coughing, Glaucon shouted, "Why did you do that?" Socrates, calm as ever, replied, "When you were under the water, what did you want more than anything?" Glaucon, still catching his breath, said, "Air. I just wanted air." Socrates nodded. When you want knowledge as badly as you wanted air, when your desire to understand is as strong as your desire to breathe, then you will truly begin to know. Glaucon stood frozen. The river rippled gently at his feet, but inside, his thoughts swirled like a storm. He had spent years chasing knowledge through scrolls and lectures, he had memorized the names of philosophers and the rules of logic, but he had never stopped to ask himself, "Why do I want to know?" Socrates walked back to the shore, and Glaucon followed slowly. The old philosopher sat beneath an olive tree and gestured for the young man to sit. "There are many who seek knowledge only to appear wise," Socrates said softly. "They wear their learning like a robe, to impress others, but true wisdom begins with humility, with knowing that you know nothing, and from that emptiness, the hunger to learn is born." The olive leaves rustled gently above them, the sound of the river faded into the background. Glaucon, his clothes still damp, asked quietly, "Then how do I begin? If books aren't enough, if facts don't make me wise, what must I do?" Socrates looked into the young man's eyes. "You must ask questions, not only of the world, but of yourself." He picked up a small stone and tossed it into the river. "Do you see how it sinks?" "Yes," Glaucon replied. "That stone," said Socrates, "is like a question. Each time you drop one into your soul, it causes ripples, disturbance, growth. To seek truth, you must be willing to disturb your own reflection." Glaucon sat silently. For the first time, he felt something stir inside him. Not confusion, not fear, but a deep, burning curiosity. Not about the world, but about himself. Socrates continued, "The greatest obstacle to knowledge is the illusion that we already have it. Most people," he said, "don't want the truth, they want certainty, they want comfort, validation, to feel right, but wisdom comes when you dare to say, 'I don't know.' It is in that humility that the journey begins." Glaucon remembered the pride he once carried. How he had spoken loudly, corrected others, shown off what he knew. Now, all he wanted was to listen, to learn, to grow. True learning, Socrates said, is like planting a seed. It doesn't grow because you command it. It grows because you nurture it, patiently, humbly. The sun began to set, its golden light casting long shadows on the riverbank. Glaucon stood up and bowed. "Thank you, Master Socrates. I came to you seeking knowledge, but you gave me something more. You gave me the desire to seek it, Socrates smiled. Then I have given you nothing, you already had it within you. I merely showed you where to look. Glaucon walked away that evening, not with answers, but with questions. And in those questions, he found his path. And now, dear listener, if you've stayed with me this far, perhaps you too are wondering. What is the true secret to knowledge? It is not having all the answers. It is not being the smartest in the room. It is not reading the most books, or quoting the most philosophers. The secret is this: to know is to seek. To seek is to question. And to question is to be truly alive. Like Socrates taught. When your desire to learn burns brighter than your fear of being wrong, when you are willing to say, I know nothing, with courage, then you are on the path to wisdom. If this story moved something inside you, if it sparked a thought, a reflection, or a new question, then let it grow. Keep seeking. Keep questioning. And remember, graduation cap: the wisest people are not those with the most answers, but those with the deepest questions. Folded hands. If you found value in this story, please like, share, and subscribe, and let us grow together on this journey of learning.